You've tried everything and nothing works. There is a secret doorway to power. And without this power, I am not capable of doing anything on this planet either. So if you're having that experience that no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, you don't seem to be able to accomplish anything. It's like you're running through mud. And this is new. It's not your normal, average human going through Earth, having difficulties and having to overcome them. It's gotten to the point where so many people are just incapable of making anything happen in their lives. Well, I've come to find out that there is a secret doorway to real power that will give you the ability to accomplish your objectives in this life. You've tried everything and nothing works. It's because you don't belong on this planet anymore. Me neither. So the good news is you can stop worrying about how much more karmic births do you have to take on this planet. If you want to, you can stop doing that right now. For the first time in human history, the Earth is no longer working on that program anymore. There are people, if they choose to, they can keep reincarnating on this planet over and over again. I wouldn't do it because they're going to be in the same situation we're starting to experience now, but only worse, which is no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to get anything going. You don't belong on this planet anymore. This planet is an experiment. Now, you are part of the experiment. You chose to be a part of the experiment. You're not an unwilling victim. You chose to incarnate in this experiment. And normally, we have normal human issues and challenges and karmic issues to work through. But if you point yourself in the right direction and you take the right actions according to your destiny, you can accomplish positive and powerful things in your life. That's not working anymore. It's because this particular Earth is over. It's done. It has been canceled. And you do not belong on this planet anymore. Neither do I. You are no longer calibrated to this Earth frequency. That's because there's a new frequency for Earth. So where most people are, because we're in a transition phase, is that they're no longer calibrated to the frequency of third dimensional Earth. But they're still trying to do third dimensional things. They're trying to go to school and get a degree and become successful and get money and get reputation and do all the things that you normally have to do in the third dimensional world, but it's not working anymore. And that's because you're in an in-between space. You're in two places at once and neither all at the same time. And so you end up feeling like you can't accomplish anything. And in fact, you can't. No matter how hard you try, it doesn't engage. Do you know what I mean? Like it just, like you're remember the old way you turned on your car where you turned the key and the engine would turn over and then it would kick in? It's trying to turn over, but it just won't engage. It's because you're no longer calibrated to this frequency. There is a shift that's happening within you, but it hasn't completely finished yet. So you're not calibrated to any place else. It's like you're floating in limbo. I know that feeling. I've been there. And I've finally got the final piece to put it together for myself, and I am now calibrated to the new frequency. And I'm going to share with you exactly how to do that. So you're no longer calibrated to this Earth frequency. There is a new frequency that you need to calibrate yourself to. Unfortunately, you can't think your way into this new frequency. You must retune your body to the new frequency. You must recalibrate yourself. This is going to be something you are going to have to do. It's not going to happen for you. I wish I could tell you otherwise. I'm sorry to tell you that It's not going to magically appear. Nobody is going to come and give it to you. There are going to be people like me that will give you tools. Now, if you use the tools that I give you, I guarantee you that you can recalibrate yourself. But you are going to have to initiate it, because this shift has to be something that is voluntary on your part. You have to choose to do it. You have to awaken to it. You have to decide to do it, and then you have to take the necessary actions to create this shift within yourself. So you can't think your way into the new frequency. You must retune your body to the new frequency that is waiting for you. You must transform your body into a light body. I know exactly how to do this. Perhaps you've heard of that term. Maybe you've heard of the rainbow body, light body. They're talking about the same thing. And it is a real thing. This earth is designed for the frequency where your manifestation is a physical body. Everything very physical. But in the next frequency, you will still be a physical being. You can do all the things that physical beings do. But your physical body will be calibrated to more of a light body. And when you're in a light body, you can accomplish all kinds of things. Now, this isn't fantasy. I know it sounds like fantasy, but it isn't. And up until this point, in order for somebody to achieve light body or rainbow body, they would have to spend their entire life, maybe multiple lives, doing practices, meditating in caves, doing Qigong, yoga, energy practices by themselves in the wilderness so that they could stay away from the chatter frequency of, normal human society. But that has come to an end. Now, everybody who chooses to can recalibrate their frequency and begin changing their body into a light body. So you must transform your body into a light body, and I know exactly how to do this. Your body has certain switches that start the transformation. I can teach you how to turn these switches on if you can handle it. Now, I've been teaching this practice for over 30 years. I've been practicing it and teaching it for over 30 years. And I can tell you, I got to a point where I had so much energy that I had to be careful who I touched. Because at times I could touch somebody and they would have experiences, leave their body. One person, I barely touched them and they had to lie down. They went to sleep. They talked to their grandfather who had passed away and told them all kinds of things. And they woke up and everything was, and then there's been other people where I barely touched them and they felt huge amounts of energy. I had a very hard time functioning in the world. And so I ended up having to stop because I needed to interact. I needed to have a life. I was only 30 years old. I still wanted to have relationships and all that kind of stuff. And I still wanted to function. So I slowed way down. And then there were times for years when I didn't practice at all. But just recently, I've started practicing full-time again and teaching this full-time again. And the difference is, there is no third dimensional resistance anymore. When I tap into these frequencies, there not only isn't any third dimensional frequency that I have to fight against or try and run away from. What's happening now is this energy is wanting to fill the whole world. So the question is, can you handle it? I am now more comfortable in my body than I have been perhaps in my whole life. And it's because I'm going through the light body transformation. And I want to teach you how to do it. So your body has certain switches that start this transformation, and I can teach you if you can handle it. So this new frequency will open a portal to a different physical reality. You have to see this to believe it. I have glimpsed this new physical reality. It is a real place. I have also been there energetically, psychically. Now that was given to me 3 years ago when light being said, we're going to take you to the next frequency, to the higher dimension, 5D, the new earth, whatever words you want to use. And they did that. They did that twice. While I was in my 3D physical body, I went there, and I can't even begin to describe the incredible bliss and the joy. In my astral body, I have been to this new physical reality. In fact, if you choose to believe it, I helped to create it. And if you've been doing the live guided meditations, so have you. So this new frequency opens a portal to a different physical reality. You have to see it to believe it. It's a 3-step process. I can show you exactly how to do it. The first step is you must choose to go there. Now this is going to be perhaps the most difficult thing for many people, because to choose to go to that new world means you have to let go of this one. Now I know everybody, if you're still watching this video, you're going, oh, I totally want that. I totally want that. Really? Well, when you actually start to leave this reality, when you actually start to disconnect from the things that you think you want to be free of, it's very possible your third dimensional self-protection mechanism, your third dimensional ego, which is a normal thing, is going to fight. It's going to want to keep you here. One of the ways you know that is that you start to get afraid. You start worrying about money. You start worrying about reputation. You start worrying about things that you think give you happiness and joy that you're going to lose. You start thinking like that. It's your third dimensional mind, which is actually trying to reject the new frequency that is coming for you. So if you can handle it, I can teach you. But I'm here to tell you that if you do the practices that I am teaching, it will make the transformation not only much more powerful, it'll happen more quickly, it will also be easier for you. So you must choose to go there. Step 2 is to connect to higher dimensional energies. Now we do that on this planet. We do that on this channel twice a week. We have the live guided CE5 interdimensional meditations, which we do every Wednesday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It's free. Everybody's welcome. Be sure that you subscribe and hit the notification, the bell button, so that when I go live, you'll know. And just come and follow along. I will guide you in these meditations, and I can guarantee you that if you show up with honest intentions, you might be afraid, you might be doubtful, those are fine. Just show up and do the best that you can. I guarantee you something will happen. This is the first step, connecting to higher dimensional energies. If you need more guidance, I can help you with that as well, and I'll give you where those resources are at the end of this video. Number 2, connect to higher dimensional energies. Number 3, do higher dimensional energy practices. So here's something interesting, and I'm working my way to try and make a video about this, and I've talked about it in the past, maybe 15, 20 years ago, I may have made videos about it. But the energy practices that we've had on this planet, Qigong, Tai Chi, meditation, yoga, those kinds of things, all of those things do help people tap into what we would call life force energy. It is the ambient life force energy that's around us. But here's something I've learned. That life force energy is still a third dimensional energy. So in the third dimension, you can achieve tremendous spiritual powers and heights, and you can be very spiritual, but you'll still be in the third dimension. And when you achieve those, even high level third dimensional practices, I know because I've accomplished them, You will feel all of the connection to the universe, to God, to spirit, but you will also be comfortable in this third dimensional reality. There are practices that have been channeled directly to humans from higher dimensional beings, and they are practices that are done in higher dimensions. So what does that mean? It means that when you do them here in the third dimension, you end up becoming what people call a sorcerer, a wizard. You have all kinds of powers, and people have a hard time being around you, and you have a hard time being in reality. I can tell you all the stories that I've heard, and if you want, I'll make videos about those. I haven't talked about that in a long time. But I now, in hindsight, understand everything that I've been shown. And in fact, I know more than I believe even my teachers knew. So these Maon practices, these higher dimensional energy practices, they will absolutely shift you to the new frequency. Unlike normal high-level Qigong, high-level Tai Chi, high-level Neigong, which takes you to the highest levels of spiritual practice within the third dimension. These Maon practices will shift you immediately into higher dimensional frequencies. And unlike what happened to me 30 years ago, when I was doing this and I had to be careful who I touched and what I did and feeling like I didn't belong in this world, the opposite has happened. Now that I'm practicing this full time, what has happened is that I feel completely connected, and I can see where this is going, and I can see and I can feel the frequency shift that is happening. And to make it even easier, I have direct conscious connection with all of the beings who are responsible for this higher dimensional frequency practice that I'm sharing with you. So, how do you do it? Here are the resources. The live guided meditations, I've already told you about that. It's free. Show up. Just do them. If you can't make the live meditations, go to the live section on the channel. Do the meditations whenever you can. I guarantee you this will start the process. You might end up in the scenario where you're not sure what happened, or it might be really intense, or you might have the experience where you go, when I guide you into these places, you'll have a powerful experience, but then when you come back into your third dimensional body, the next day you might actually feel a little worse because you're in two places. That is a sign you need to be doing the higher dimensional practices, because I don't have that experience anymore. All right, the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong. If you're new and you haven't done that, you can do that. That will help you. The way you do that is you subscribe at thunderwizard.com. And what you do is, when you go to thunderwizard.com, scroll to the bottom, you'll see membership. Click on membership. When you click on membership, you're going to see all the different ways that you can subscribe. And you will see the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong. It's not on this page, but there's a bunch of different subscriptions, and you will find it if you look for it. So if you're new to this and you've just got to get your body lined up, then go there and do the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong. I created that specifically for people who needed an all-around. Now, just to let you know, you won't find this anywhere else. Because in the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong, you learn regular Qigong, which taps you into the life force energy, which your body is going to need. It taps you into Kundalini, which is psychological, higher dimensional energy. And it taps you into the Shin power, the heart-mind power, the lightning power of the fifth dimension, which is the Maon sorcery. When you combine all of those three together, you have the perfect practice that aligns your body to higher dimensions. I did the work for you. Listen, that wasn't an easy thing. I don't recommend trying to figure that out, because I made all the mistakes and I had to fix them. And I figured out how to merge all those energies together. You won't find it anywhere else, I can guarantee you. So if you're ready for something even more powerful, do the Maon practices. Now, the Maon practices can be found at the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong. There are meditations and other practices that you can do. So I recommend that for all of those reasons as well. But I am now going to begin releasing the very high level practices. The practices that I have taught already are very high level. The 5-element Maon spirit fighting, I recommend, if you haven't done that, go check that out. That will get you into the power of controlling, flowing with, and channeling the dimensional energies. I'm not going to take the time to explain it. I do it in that practice. The people who have done that practice, they already know. They've been hammering at me for years to teach the higher level, which I am doing now. So go to maoshan.thunderwizard.com to see those. Now, if you need help contacting and communicating with extraterrestrials, go to contact.thunderwizard.com. There's a 10 video course, and I teach you exactly how to do it, and I tell you how to go more deeply into your communion and connection with them. And it's one thing to do CE5 or to do the interdimensional meditation to make contact and experience that. It's another thing to learn how to navigate higher dimensions and learn how to communicate and interpret and deepen your connection and go to the place where you actually start to expand into your higher dimensional self. I talk about that in contact.thunderwizard.com. Channel.thunderwizard.com. That is for people who are really serious about improving their connection with higher dimensions, and or if you need help, if you're already connecting but you're having difficulty accepting, understanding, interpreting. And what ends up happening, listen, the light beings came to me and they told me to do this. This is not something I ever thought about doing. It would have never entered my mind. But they suggested that I channel them to people. Now the difference is, instead of doing a channeling and I speak generally to the whole world about whatever, this is for you. And what is going to happen is that my higher dimensional guides and your higher dimensional guides, they are going to speak through me. But it gets even better than that. Their power, their higher dimensional energy will be transmitted directly to you physically. And once you have one of those readings, ask anybody who's had them. Their life is never the same. The energy fills their reality. It fills their world. So this is a way to open up a portal and get even more energy. So if you need more help connecting, then I recommend going to channel.thunderwizard.com. Watch the videos on the channel to see some of the things that happen. They're all different, but you'll get an idea. Again, maoshan.thunderwizard.com. That's where the real power is. So I've just uploaded, we've got already the 5-element spirit fighting sets. Incredibly powerful, mastering the 5 elements. What more do you want? And then I've uploaded what's called the first set, which is the hands of infinity or the hands of creation. And this is actually moving outside of the third dimensional 5 dimensions, and you're moving into creating universes. So that's what's happening here. You're learning how to create entire universes, and your navel center is going to tap into higher dimensional energy, which means it'll not only empower you physically, but you'll be able to intend and create. But there's even more. Today I've spent all day videoing a new set that I'm going to share with you. This is the butterfly hands. Now, you find the butterfly hands in the higher spirit fighting sets, but I've taken pieces of them out and I've created a very powerful set. Now, I created this for myself years ago because the butterfly hands are by far the single most powerful practice in terms of filling your body not only with chi, but with higher dimensional energy. And it's incredibly powerful. And it's the power of yin and yang, the power of creation and destruction. It's literally the power of the gods. And so I put it into one set, and it is, after I've done this set for a few minutes, I'm barely in my body. But once you're able to pull that energy in and metabolize it, you become a higher dimensional being, and you are much closer towards getting your light body, your rainbow body. So these are things that are coming up. There's a lot more stuff. I'm going to be making more videos. I've decided I'm going to teach all of the sets. The second set, which is actually called the butterfly set or the mirror set, and this is where you learn to go between both sides of the veil. And it's incredibly powerful, and it expands the heart into higher dimensions. And then there's the third set. That set is called the Immortal set. And what that does is that opens up the third eye from higher dimensional perspectives. On a spirit fighting level, it's called the Assassin set, because it has so much power. If you want to know how I was able to just tap people and they would fall on the ground and cry and do whatever, it's because of that set. So these sets are coming. I am determined to share my knowledge with the world for, while I still can. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. But I highly recommend, if you are feeling that nothing works, you've tried everything and nothing works, I highly recommend that you follow what I'm teaching on this channel. Go at your own pace, but start taking action towards that. All right, that's it. My friends, I love you very much. I'm very excited, and for the first time in a long time, I have tremendous hope, and I know exactly what I'm doing. Please come along with me. I would love to help you. That's it for now. I love you all. Please be very good to yourselves. I will see you all very soon.